Hey guys, in this video we're going to be going over condition statements, otherwise known as if-else statements. And what these do is they allow us to make decisions in our code because we are able to check a condition, and if that condition is true, then we can do a certain action. So first, let's look at some conditionals that we can use. Some that we can use are less than equal to, greater than equal to, and not equal to. So let's go ahead and make a condition statement. So we're going to say if 1 is equal to 1, then I want to play a sound. So what this is doing is it's checking to see if this condition is true. And if that condition is true, then it will do whatever action you put inside of these curly braces. So in this scenario, this sound would play, because 1 is equivalent to 1. But if we were to change this to if 1 is equal to 2, then this sound would never play, because this condition is never true. So there's a different type of condition statement we can do as well under this called an else if. And we'll just do 1 is equal to 1 again. And we'll play a different sound. Let's just say 1,000. So what this does is it comes in and it says if this condition is true, then I'll do this action. But this condition is not true. So what it'll do is it'll say else, if another condition is true, then it'll play a different sound. So in this scenario, it would check this condition, it would be false, so it would jump down to the next condition. And this condition is true, so it would play this sound. So let's go ahead and make this one not true as well. And there's one more type of condition that we can check, and it's just an else. Now what this does, and let's go ahead and make another sound. So else doesn't actually check a condition. It just jumps into this code if all of the preceding conditions were false. So there's a few more things to add on to this that we need to know as well, and that is and or. So we can check multiple conditions in each statement. So I can say if 1 is equal to 2 and 3 is equal to 3. So 3 is equivalent to 3, but 1 is not equivalent to 2. And in order for this condition statement to be true, both of them must be true. This one and this one. So in this case, the sound would not play, and we would jump down to the else statement. And there's one more of these as well called the or statement. And what that says, if one or the other is true, then we can jump into that condition. So we're saying to check this condition and this condition. If one of them, one or the other is true, then we can do the code inside of that condition. So in this case, we would play this sound, because this condition is not true, but this condition is true. Something else that's important with this is that you can have as many else if statements as you'd like. That way it allows you to check as many conditions as you may need to before you need to use an else statement. You can only have one else statement. If you were to have two else statements, then you're going to get a compile error. But as long as you only have one, you will be fine. So now that we have the basics of those down, let's do a little quiz. So looking at this condition statement, see if you guys can pick which condition would be met and which sound would be played. Would the answer be 500, 1,000, 3,000, or 2,000? Pause the video and see if you can figure out which one's right. Alright, if you guys picked 500, you would be right. because we come in and we see 2 is equal to 2 and 3 is not equal to 10. So we would jump immediately into this condition and we would play the 500 sound. This condition wouldn't be met because neither of them are true. This one would also be met and would be true, but the if would come first. They're checked in sequential order, so whichever one is true first is the one that would be played. So here's one more quiz for you guys. Pause the video and see if you can figure out which of these conditions would be met and which sound would be played. 500, 1000, 3000, or 2000. Alright, if your answer was 1000, you would be right. Because if we come in, we see if 2 is equal to 3 and 3 is not equal to 3, so neither of those conditions are met, and we would need both of them to be met since we have the and sign. So that one isn't it. Then we come down to the next one, else if 2 is equal to 1 or 1 is not equal to 0. We only need one of these conditions to be met to match the or statement, and this one is true, so we would come into this condition and we would play the 1000 sound. Alright, so that was an introduction to conditions, and we'll be continuing them in the next video so we can allow our robot to make some decisions. So see you guys there.